What's up, y'all? It's Base Up Profondo, and I'm here today to talk about government assistance. I call it more like government hindrance because, all that Wick, all that, food stamps, HUD, etc. pretty much. Now, that doesn't really help the situation out here. Pretty much, the cure to all this is pretty much because I have a grandma that was on government assistance, and they pretty much drove her to the grave at 55, pretty young for like someone who's older or elder. And she died pretty much with nothing, next to nothing. She pretty much didn't have anything, no. And my mom was kicked out by the time she had me when she was like 17, 16, and couldn't provide for herself, and she went and married a older dude, which is my dad. And when you're in government assistance, it's kind of like being stuck. It's kind of like quicksand. You're in it, you're stuck, and you're gonna go down. They have no positive influences for nobody. They're not gonna do anything really for you. The only care to that situation is financially independent, and you got to be financially stable. This is why you got to think before you have a kid, and before anything, you got to pretty much have your own house. You got to pretty much, like I said, in your 20s and 30s, you shouldn't be thinking about getting married or worrying about anybody or being with anybody. You should be worried about what you're doing, because if you haven't completed anything by your 20s or 30s, you're not really going to go that far. They're going to get you where they want you, like they always do. Government housing, that too. I forgot to put that in there, but it's not a good idea. They never sign up for none of these things. Child support, all those things. You know what I'm saying? Most of these females, they're just having kids and they ain't nothing but a check. That's why when you walk around, you see most of these females, they're walking around with multiple kids, multiple people, and they don't care because they fell for the trick, they fell for the game, they fell for the okey doke. But you gotta make the decision to find someone that can get their own independent income. So they're capable of doing that, because a lot of people aren't mentally capable of doing that due to how long government assistance, government hindrance, that's what I call it, been, messing their families up. And, it's kind of passed down. And it's kind of like a slave thing. It's kind of like they got used to it and they think that's the way to go. They think it's cool to live below the poverty line, and it's not. Like public housing, it's not, you need to get your own house. I'm saying, because of this is like the situation, you need to go ahead and get you, you need to buy you some land. You need to go ahead and figure out how that property tax thing works. Because you can't live off of the government, because the government doesn't give a damn about you. So you're pretty much just a cat. You're pretty much their livestock. They could care less how you end up, because they know that when you have your kid and this kid's growing up on government assistance, first off, if it's a male, their plan is pretty much after they turn 18. You may not know this, you may not measure this up, but it's kind of like when the planets align, like when the kid turns 18, they pretty much going to lock the kid up. And they know that. That's why they let you go. Let the kid go after 18. You throw the kid out, the kid's going to be in the street. The kid's going to get in trouble in the street, because there ain't nothing good in the streets. The streets, you may love the streets, but the streets don't love you. That's just how it is. And when you're on that and you make the decision to throw the kid out, prepare for the worst. This is why you got to have your own government assistance. You got to make sure the kid got a college fund before they're born. You got to make sure you have your own house. If you're wise, you make sure the house is paid off, because it's not going to go anywhere. So you're going to be stuck. Most people think that when they see those signs, when income tax come up, I know everybody see them on the side of the road. They say, what? What they say, I don't really know. I don't have any kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type to follow my path. I'm going to wait to go be with who I want to be with, because, you got to take control of your own life. You got to be independently stable. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure you got your own house. You got to make sure that house is paid off. You got to make sure you got wills 247. This is a lot of things people don't want to hear, because, don't nobody today in our generation even want to hear the truth. You know what I'm saying? And if you keep following down that path, you have your kid following down that path, and then, after a while, it's normalized. but it's on you to break your generational curse, which I always talk about. And if you make a decision that you don't want to, then prepare for the worst, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Don't sit there and blame others, and don't even take blaming others. And it's better off when things happen that you blame yourself, because you learn more confidence. You learn that I have to do it by myself, and I have to be motivated and driven on my own, basically. Anyway, I'll see y'all later. Beso Profondo. Have a great night.